Plaintiff Marcia White says she tried to help a friend's niece who was down on her luck, but wound up with thousands in unpaid rent and damages. Defendants Jennifer and Alex Clemmons claim the apartment was uninhabitable.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Case number 20 on the docket, you got White versus Mr. and Mrs. Clemmons.
Welcome. As I look at this case, we have the plaintiff here, Ms. White, and you are suing the defendants, Mr. and Mrs. Clemmons, for the amount of $4,607 for unpaid rent and property damage. Tell me your side of the story.
Since 1986, I had an in-law apartment put in downstairs, and I rented it out over the years. And back in 2007, I rented it to a cousin, Jason Maine, and Jay was the best tenant anyone could ever have. And he met and married Judy Maine, and she is my witness.
Congratulations on the marriage.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
And they bought the house next on the other side of me, so my apartment was empty. In March of 2016, Judy brought over her niece and nephew-in-law, and they had a 4-month-old baby. They were living in a motel, and she highly recommended them as tenants for my apartment, and I allowed them to move in.
Right.
And they were to pay $225 every Friday.
You seem to be tearing up a bit.
The fact that my aunt is her witness rather than sitting here with me.
I get that.
Yeah.
Is there a written contract to this? Or
No, Your Honor,
lease?
there's actually nothing written down on paper. It was just a verbal
It
agreement.
was a verbal agreement.
And they did pay a security deposit,
Oh, good. And how much was the security?
$900. Alec had trouble holding a job, and it got to the point where they paid when they felt like it. Sometimes I got $225, sometimes I might have got $100, sometimes there was nothing.
How many years were they there?
They were there until last June.
So they were there for...
2 years and 3 months.
In the eviction paperwork, Your Honor, that I have, we have proof of when they paid and when they didn't, and the numerous times that they had gotten
So
behind on
if
the
I'm
rent.
correct, this is your niche.
I mean, blood is thicker than water, but morals is thicker than blood, and you have
Okay.
to do what's right.
And the amount of your suit is based on you saying how much rent did they owe?
Current amount on June 15th, when they were evicted, was $2,633, Your Honor.
Now, let me hear your side of the story up to this point.
When I went to go and pay Marcia for the first time, I went to go and give her a money order. She strictly just wanted cash. So from then on, we started just giving her cash because that's all she requested when she had told me she did not want money orders.
That's not true. Numerous times they
Okay,
paid her money
you're
orders.
not talking now, she is.
She ended up filing for the eviction, and we were under the agreement that if stuff was not fixed in the apartment, that she was not going to get the rent.
According to you, what was not
So,
fixed in the apartment?
I have right here a picture of our bathtub,
Yep.
Your Honor, that was like that for about a month.
Yikes.
There was numerous times that we have told Marcia
How
about
soon
it.
after you moved in did this happen?
About a year.
Our landlord is obviously lying that she is a competent landlord. We would pay her, and then she would come downstairs and say that we didn't pay her or even recognize who we were.
Actually, I answered the door one day. She came downstairs knocking on my door,
Seriously?
and I opened the door. She looked at me and asked if Jennifer was there. I looked at her, and I had said, I am Jennifer.
First of all, when did the tub backing up and you couldn't take a shower there for a month, when did that happen?
2017, I believe. And we also had a problem with the electricity where there was no heat for about a good 2 weeks. And then finally, she had a plumber come in without Alex or I being there. And then this is also what they did for damage in the apartment and just left it like that.
What does this represent, the damage when they were doing what?
That was right near the bathtub. It was right underneath the sink. They literally cut a giant hole
That's
in
just
there.
proving
And
that
then
Marcia fixed the bathtub.
So from April of, is that April of 18 or April of 17?
17.
You stayed there from April of 17, when everything started falling apart, to June of 18.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Why?
And that was
I'm going to get to you. Why?
It was my biggest mistake. We ended up
Were
staying...
you, but you were paying some rent, apparently.
Yes. I was the only one working. He did lose his job.
Your Honor, they're claiming that problem started in April, and that's why they stopped paying rent. However, back in February, they were $3,033 behind on their rent, so that was prior to any issues that she's claiming, and they were already $3,000 in arrears.
Right, but that apparently has been made up.
Prior to. Well, then
Yeah,
they
but-
paid a little, and then they stopped paying again. They made minimal effort to pay their rent continuously prior to any issues that they're claiming that were subsequently fixed by Marcia within a week,
I
not
understand.
within a
There
month.
is no question that they've been paying late. What is this complaint
had
about
excessive
parking,
damages.
the car parked in?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. There's been numerous times where we had to physically climb
out the
out our
window.
bedroom window because she was parking right in front of the only way we were able to get out of the house.
Can I see that picture? Because I
Let
can
me
show
see.
you where the door is in that picture.
And with having a 4-month-old
had a
at the
problem
time,
with it.
how am I supposed to get the child over that?
And what about the dog?
So we ended up having to get rid of our dog because of
they weren't
the
watching and he got hit
eviction.
by a car.
And she actually filed a false notice to quit, which I have right here, stating for us to move out.
She was trying to do it that way, Your Honor, because I have custody of her child.
So this is not a formal eviction thing?
She was trying to help them
a
by doing
moment
it that
to-
way, Your
You've
Honor.
said enough, okay.
I'm sorry. Marcia has called DCF on us numerous times as well. And my aunt, the witness, has given her all the information to do so. So it is kind of hard to stand here.
It's actually incorrect. I'm the one that
And-
called DCF, Your Honor, because I'm obligated to do so when Marcia presented the information to me.
With your child, you no longer have your child?
No, sir.
Okay.
She came to me numerous times, and as she came to me, the police needed to be called. And it was actually the police that first contacted DCF.
I have talked to one of the workers that had gotten a phone call, and he actually came out and told me that Marcia White had called him because they were in contact because they were actually trying to help us with the rent. But Marcia was the one calling DCF on us numerous times. She's called at least 10 times. It was not my aunt.
I did not call
That's
Your
you.
Honor, I
not
know
true,
it's
Your
going to
Honor.
damage our relationship.
All right.
My niece finding out that I said it, why would I make it up that it was not me?
I also wanted to bring up the fact that Marcia had opened mail and posted it to our wall. She opened one of our bank statements when my husband and I had a joint bank account, and she went through and circled
Okay.
our pay dates and wrote on the bottom why she was not getting paid.
Okay, it is very clear that it's not healthy for anyone here for you to still be living there. The only question which you're bringing to me,
Well, I have damages, Your Honor.
is the issue of you're suing because you say they owe you money for back rent and for damages. Your defense is that the place is not inhabitable.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
that is constructive eviction. For that to apply, you basically would have had to leave at the time it became impossible to live in it. The fact that you stayed, I know the tough economic times and you're not employed and you've been laid off, whatever the reasons, that's not relevant. You wanted to stay, but it kind of undercuts the whole argument of constructive eviction because
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
stayed in the place.
I have a police report here dated from 6/14 of 2018 from the last day that the day before they were supposed to vacate the apartment. The apartment was a fully furnished apartment, and as they were leaving, vacating the apartment, they were actually stealing all the furniture
That is not true,
and
Your Honor.
tables.
They were loading it
It's
in
right
the
here in the
truck.
police report. They had loaded up all the furniture
And what
they
is
had
your
taken
answer to
it.
When
that?
I had
And were
first
ordered
moved
to
in,
return.
because Judith Main had lived there prior, she told me that all the furniture was hers, and me being her niece, that I was able to take it. When we had spoken to the police officers, we had no problem bringing the furniture back, but she was the one that told us it was her furniture, and we found out otherwise that same night. There was already tension.
And then you returned it.
Yes,
yeah.
and we returned the furniture.
Okay.
Not all of it, Your Honor.
You do owe for the time that you stayed there for the rent. I'm not going to make you pay for damages to the apartment, clearly some of which is the landlord's responsibility, simply because it goes to the very basis of why anyone would be able to rent any place. You sued for $4,607, and you are entitled to be paid $2,633. So the judgment in favor of the plaintiff is $2,633.
Can I-
Thank you.
They lived in absolute horror
Filth.
with dog feces
Filth.
and urine all over the place. The tub was the most disgusting tub. I think I would probably rather shower in a prison without shower shoes than to use their tub.
She actually ruined our life, and I wish that upon nobody else.